so long it's like alchemy.
Saturday night, you know who that is. New team, still ain't found a barber though. James Michael McAdoo getting his ring and his standing ovation from this Warriors crowd and Warriors team. And man, I know if those of you that followed me last year, I give him a hell of a time. You know what I mean? By all accounts, he's a great guy, a religious leader in the locker room and all that. Steph and everybody loves him. So it was cool. You see Ron Adams giving him his ring. I guess Ron Adams tried to make him into an NBA player. Hey, he's still in the league, but look how everybody's happy for him. Even Steph and his little doo-doo locks, the new cut. So McAdoo, you know, gets his acknowledgement. But, you know, everybody's excited to see the Sixers team. They won a couple games out here on the West Coast. Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Dario Saric. You would see no Markelle Fultz on this night. But the Sixers were ready to show up against the champs and give them a challenge. Now, the Warriors would have KD back, remember missing last game, but it would be Andre Iguodala sitting out this one. And I'm guessing the training staff, you know, what's the short blonde hair lady? I think that they've probably predetermined these rest dates throughout the season. And you got this red-hot Philly team, Ben Simmons, everybody's already anointing him the Rookie of the Year, Magic Johnson like the 6'10" Australian point guard. There you get a look at KD. Let's get this thing on. Draymond, a little bit of trash talk with Joel Embiid prior to the game. Draymond stepped up 5 blocks. And then let's face it, JJ Redick still traumatized from wearing a Clippers uniform facing this team in Oracle Arena. He really wanted no parts of this game. Now, I have to apologize on this play. My TV froze, but what you're going to see is KD with an early corner 3 ball. And it was just one of those nights where you're like, oh, he was on. He was on from the get. Steph goes down extremely hard. And this is the same exact thing that happened to KD Monday night against Miami, trying to come over a screen, gets a dead leg to the thigh. This one looked even more severe. Ben Simmons, the dirty Australian, Bogut probably taught him that. No, I kid, but Steph in clear pain. You see the new look, the little twist, but he would leave the game and was grimacing on the sideline. He's like, yeah, rub that inner thigh, baby. Pause. Just kidding. Klay, that's a great pass. But one thing about Philadelphia is they may be the biggest front line in the NBA. You got Dario Saric, 6'10", Ben Simmons, 6'10", and then Joel Embiid, a legit 7'2", a giant front line, bothered our shots at the rim. But the Warriors did well to adjust. A lot of mid-range shots later in this game. You would see Zaza struggled, though. And then you're going to see KD here again. Look, that's a pull-up jumper right there. KD, don't defer because he's stuck amongst the trees and can't finish. But like I said, they did well to adjust to the size and athleticism of this Philadelphia 76ers team. Now, I highly recommend a video with Gary Payton and Draymond Green talking about trash talk. And believe it or not, when he's asked about the trash talkers, Gary asks him, he says KD was the one that talked the most trash to him before he was on the Warriors. Look at him talk trash to the Philly bench. He's like, yeah, you like that jumper in your face? Like I said, the man was wet from the start. And there's certain things, you look at Embiid jump out and foul Steph from the three-point line, and Embiid really does show his lack of experience. He's one of those typical Africans that didn't pick up the game until later in life, until a teenager, and you can see it. Then Klay, that's like a 35-foot reload off an offensive rebound. Klay being Klay. Remember Manny being Manny? Manny Ramirez, Klay, kind of the same thing. It leads to a 3. Philadelphia surprisingly 3rd in the league in three-point shooting and assists. They're doing a lot. That's just an unexcusable turnover. There were 8 turnovers in the first quarter. They did get back. Transition defense was fine, but you can see the potential and athleticism, like I said, from this Philadelphia team. KD heat check early on. Both teams stroking it from over 50% from the field in this first quarter. JaVale gets in the game, and then what are you doing, JaVale? I love him, but damn. And I want to give Kirk credit because he had a few sequences in this when he first entered this game where it was like, yo, get him out of there. Get him out of there, right? And then he redeems himself, though. Look at it's always a roller coaster ride. Looking like Hakeem over Embiid with the do-si-do drop step jump hook, and then he gets extra rambunctious. Watch this, jumps the passing lanes. Now Embiid, second, he thinks about it. He's like, no, I got to save my foot. McGee, sky hook dunk. And he gave us some great electric minutes to end the quarter, but he started off very rough. A credit to Kerr for sticking with him. One thing that JaVale needs to do is he doesn't have to load up his jump. He's 7'1", just come over and extend at the basket. You see him load up the jump and the little guard beats him to the rim. So I'd love to see him kind of just quickly understand how big you are, JaVale. You don't have to like load up your jump and explode. That time you waste, guys sneak shots by him all the time. You see him with the little jumper. The man had 11 points in 8 minutes. So I can't complain too much about JaVale's performance. And this is where Ben Simmons lived all night long. Just that little free throw line push shot. It's not pretty, man, but he's such an interesting player. You can tell he's looking for the pass. David West, look at the timing on this play. Klay did something very subtle with his feet that enabled him to get the and one on this play. Take another look at this. This is what I'm teaching my daughter right now. If you stutter step your feet and time it, you know you're catching a pass. You leap right into the layup where you don't take a 1-2 step, right? You just take one step and finish, and it really throws defenders off, gives you more time, and a lot of times you get an and one out of it. That's a suspect call, but it's a subtle footwork move. You see Steph, he's going to hop on the bike to try to make sure that leg doesn't tighten up. Honestly, I don't expect to see him Monday against Orlando. More Ben Simmons, and just like Lonzo, he wants to pass it. He just threw that in. That was a pass, but he wants to pass it, but unlike Lonzo, he is willing to shoot and be a little more aggressive when he sees the read, and that's what to do. Little behind the back pass. Embiid, so big, if he catches it that deep, not even Draymond can do anything about it, but Embiid, quiet on the night. Now, this is what's interesting. They talked about he's a lefty, but he shoots the jump shot with the right. Look at that shot. You can see both hands involved, right? The guide hand is not quiet at all. Livingston out in transition, and then Embiid, you see the big man, how mobile he is, 7'2", 280, chasing down Klay. Fultz ever gets healthy, that'll help, but they just got to get Ben Simmons some more finishers, some more shooters. You've got Redick and then supposedly Fultz, but let's take a look at D. West here, man. I'm telling you, this dude woke up on the wrong side of the bed. He's complaining, and you're going to see Looney come in, and I don't know if is he feeling pressure from Looney's emergence, like he may lose his minutes, but look at him. He's like, Lord, somebody, I just can't. I can't, right? You could see that, and that continued throughout the night. Now, here's a set where KD needs to take this jump shot. Sometimes your first shot is your best shot. He curls off right there. That's a pull the trigger, right? Instead, overpassing happens, and you see the length of this Philadelphia number 3 defense in the league, Ben Simmons, and then look at him bump KD and then explode to the rim. Transition is very special. He already has the full-grown NBA body, man. He just needs to choose which hand he's going to shoot with. Now, Embiid, he doesn't process double teams very well, right? He doesn't read them. He doesn't feel them coming, so everybody throws doubles at him. And I think he'll start to understand it, but right now he just doesn't process it. You see what I did there soon enough. KD slithering to the rim, and then the big fella takes another bad spill. And as a Sixer fan, you've got to hold your breath. 280 pounds. We all know the foot injuries, the knee. You got to preserve yourself a little bit there. The Cameroonian, a wild dude, Omri Caspi gets in, and now it's gotten to the point where you expect to see Caspi every night, right? He's kind of earned a little bit of the rotation, I feel. And then there's the back door. If I have a criticism of Klay, you saw him get beat right there. Embiid's going to finish this eventually. But Klay's kind of been slacking on the defensive end. If you notice, pay attention, he's been getting beat a little more, and then that's sad to see. Look at Kerr, man. The camera caught a moment of him in pain, but that it is what it is. He's not going to say nothing. Looney, another huge block. Here we go. In the Warriors rules, blocks lead to 3 balls. Klay, he's all right on the night, but he did what he had to do, splashing the wide open 3 to end the half. But it was a close game. You see a 1-point lead as Bay Area entitlement at its finest courtside. And then typical Warrior fashion, second half, the Warriors put the clamps on this young Sixers team. Steph, a nice little steal in transition, and KD doing it all, man. I'm not going to lie to you. KD is my favorite Warrior to watch as far as the whole skill set, but Draymond just simply wants it more. Look at him rip down on Ben Simmons. Simmons thinks he's got the rebound. Nah, Draymond, he just simply plays harder. Don't underrate the simple skill set of effort. Steph in transition. KD, how about 3 of 6 from downtown, 29 points, handful of blocks, and he's just doing it all effortlessly, man. And now this could have been the play of the year. We know Ben Simmons is from Australia. He gets megged, and then Draymond blows the dunk. Take another look at this, man. And it's a lot of pressure. When a teammate makes a flashy pass at you sometimes, you feel extra pressure to finish and you squeeze. And that's exactly what happened for Draymond. Almost a top 10 play. But how about Kevon Looney rolling to the rim? He has become a super aggressive and effective roller. Rip or reap through, and that's just too easy. And they really poured it on this Philadelphia team who couldn't answer the bell after a gut punch in this third quarter. Redick, nope, Looney, 3 blocks on the night. And all these blocks and turnovers led to transition 3 balls. Swaggy P, he says, I want in on the splash party. And I'm not going to lie to you, man. I just did not expect Kevon Looney to be contributing at this point in the season, particularly the way he's been doing it on the defensive end. Look at Steph's patience. Guys are kind of just waiting and waiting. He did well to read the defense, not guess the defense. More Looney and KD in there. You got 2 shot blockers, and they really made them pay out in transition. Swaggy, he had 3 threes on the night, played 20 minutes, man. Mind you, no Iguodala, and Nick was the beneficiary of that. It's good to see him get rolling here. More Looney. Watch this pick and roll game. I love how he finishes with two hands. Didn't even second guess going right at the 7-2 Joel Embiid at the rim. Looney only 4 points and 3 blocks, but the stat sheet doesn't tell the complete story. And you could tell Embiid, look at him, he felt some type of way because Looney was shining on him, man. Straight up, watch the repost, and he just gets ultra aggressive here, and Looney's called for the foul. But there was a little bit of attitude. You sensed like Embiid did not like Looney playing him well and hanging in there with the process. Couple of little more details in this blowout and impressive win was, look at Klay here. I love Klay's unselfishness and the culture that it breeds. Watch him point to Nick Young the whole way down. He's like, hey, he's open, he's open, he's open. And when he gets the ball, he can easily shoot that. He's like, there you go, serve it up and get Swaggy going. And then this was another little play I love. So we're rolling from 3, right? There's going to be an end of the possession here where Draymond is going to bring the ball up. And in times past, he's going to force feed it to a guy for another 3 to hit that home run play, get the crowd to explode, right? But Philadelphia is going to guard all the shooters and force Draymond to take the shot, okay? So watch Draymond process and survey the court. Now, he's not going to make the floater, but he makes the right play, which is important. Goes down. He probably should have taken one more dribble, right? But in times past, Draymond would have forced it to a shooter because he had his mind pre-made. Fourth quarter, David West, more grumpiness. Watch him bark at Draymond. He wanted help on the switch, or he didn't get what he wanted. Listen.
Ben Simmons should just become a right-handed shooter. Forget the left hand.
Draymond's like, damn, you got to tell me at least, right? And then here's another uncharacteristic kind of forced pass. Usually that's more accurate. So I think everybody was kind of cognizant of his attitude, right? And I'm making note of that because I want to point something out here in a second. But this may be the highlight of the night. Livingston transition. You reach, I teach. And then he finds Klay in the corner like, preach. Now, this is some of the things that are so impressive about Kerr is the nuance. He understands how frustrated David West is. So out of a timeout, what does he do? He draws a nice little setup and gets the OG a dunk, right? And these little gestures throughout the season go a long way with reeling in and keeping everybody engaged. Now, I know your real question is, did James Michael McAdoo play? Not only did Mac play, the man hit a corner 3 ball. But the reality of the situation is, y'all, just like his new tattoo, his game, it's still half done. Hey, I just listened to the people. Y'all said, get him, so I got him. Either way, the Warriors do what they should do at home against an impressive Philadelphia team. Now, you got Orlando coming to town Monday night. The hometown boy, Aaron Gordon, taking it to the next level. Will we have Steph Curry? I'm not so sure about that, but I still expect them to take care of business at home. I'm out, y'all.